Welcome again to the Daily Database Insight. In this video, we're going to discuss connecting to SQL Server. And you can connect to SQL Server using various methods. First, you need to have a client tool that can connect to the database server. The most favorite client tool that everybody uses is the SQL Server Management Studio. In my screen, you can see the SQL Server Management Studio right here. Now, if you are remoted into the box of a SQL Server and you have a default instance, all you need to do is connect using a period. A period denotes that you are connecting to a default instance on that specific box. And again, a period would denote the local server name or the server name itself. If it was an named instance, you can, and you're inside the box, you can specify a period backslash a period backslash instance name. That would mean that you are connecting you are inside the box and you are connecting to that box backslash the instance name. So that's how you connect to a named instance while you're inside the box. Now, the other way to connect, you could click on this and you could specify the box name. Again, the host name would be this one here. I am gonna just paste it here because it's a default instance. You can see I can connect to that host name while I'm inside the box. And of course, this host also has a specific IP address. If we're paying the IP address, of course, it's gonna give us the IPv6. If we need the IPv4, that's how we get the IPv4. So the other way to connect is by specifying the IP address of the box. And if I paste it over there you go. You can connect like that. The last option, if you are on the box, is if you decide that you have a named instance but you want to connect using an alias name, then on Configuration Manager, we can go over here and we can create a new alias name, and we can call this alias name let's give it a name here. Okay. Oh, I had launched the 32-bit. Let's try to launch this one, which is a 64-bit. So this is grayed out. Looks like there seems to be a bug in this configuration manager because I should naturally be able to type in here. So anyway, to give you context of what we need to do over here is very simple. It is pretty much just creating an alias on the box itself. What this alias stands for is going to be just another name to point the local server name, and this alias is only usable when you're within the box. Now, there are other aliasing or a record processes that could be defined in DNS that could absolutely replace the server name, but that is going to be managed within the DNS level, and that should be the way you actually alias most of your database connection so that you can easily have an upgrade process that doesn't change a lot of application configuration. So yeah, so once you've installed SQL Server and you're trying to, the next possible step is to connect to a database. And there are multiple ways you can connect. You can use an IP, you can use a database server name, If you're within the box, you can use a period to denote the server name as that local box where you are currently remoted into. And if you wanted to specify an instance name, unfortunately I don't have a named instance, then you can definitely do that. And of course you can go ahead and make it even more complex by going into configuration manager, into the protocols area, and making sure that on the TCP IP properties you only listen for specific IPs, because we have certain database servers that might have more than one IP for various reasons. Maybe you have multiple instances and you need each instance to listen to a specific IP, and therefore you have DNS records that only point to that specific IP. So meaning if you connect using that DNS record, you are actually connecting to a specific instance. And so that can help with the process of actually configuring your entire connection string. But yeah, the next step once you install the database is you have to connect. But the question is, how do you connect? So we just walked through the process of connecting. And if you know anybody who is trying to understand connection strings for SQL Server databases, you must show them this video. And if you have any further questions, please leave a comment on the chat section. And if if you need any questions responded to urgently, ask them to reach out to me directly. Again, thank you and have a good night.